first horror novel really is the Bible. It's certainly the first locust novel.
As far as I'm concerned, there is only one horror writer, Garth Marenghi.
You know, by here, bit more, bit further, by the end. That's what this kind of stuff is. What I'd hope that my fiction achieves now is more of the slight chill. You know, the kind of, you know, for example, if that was Dawn Waters, you know, rather than I would hope that it would be right. Really? But hang on, I thought. Ooh. And if I can achieve that, then I will die a very happy man.
Shakespeare was a horror writer. Shakespeare dealt in the realms of the fantastique, as does Garth. They're both imaginers. They're both ferrymen. They both explore worlds. That's what they do. I have no truck with snobbery at all. To me, it's all the same. Literature, porno, dog racing.
And the way that he writes, you know, those nightmares down, is almost childlike. And that's what makes it frightening for me. It's like if you, a young son, you know, or a daughter, and they come bursting into your room, you know, at 1 a.m, screaming and crying. You know, they've had this awful nightmare. And you say, what happened? And they say, oh, this man came down with dish mops on his head and blah, 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 blah. Do you know what I mean? It has a certain, you know, certain horror than if I was to wake up, you know, my girlfriend and say, listen, I just had a nightmare. This man came down from the sky with a, I don't know, pitchfork, stuck me up the arse with it. Next thing I knew, I was, I don't know, on someone's tongue. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't give a shit. That's it.
Garth has made a lot of people read. A lot. I mean, most people who read Garth's books hate reading. Garth makes people who hate reading read. I mean, they won't read anything good, but they'll read Garth. I will generally put in punctuation. I see that as my job. Garth does one draft. He doesn't want to dull it by constantly revising. He'll do one draft, and he'll often elect to omit punctuation. That's his call. I will put in commas. I won't put in semicolons. This isn't Joyce. I will omit dashes. Again, this isn't French writing. I will make sure that sentences start with capital letters. That's what they're called. I will make sure the book is long enough, or should I say thick enough. That could be a question of adding more words. It could be a question of making the paper thicker. Depends what we've got time for. I, in consultation with Garth, will view the cover. Are there too many skeletons on this cover? Is this skull big enough? Could we fit more maggots on? Should bits of this book be pop-up? Questions like that. So it is creative.
Horror is dead.
I beg your pardon. What did you just say?
You should stop writing.
Did you? No. You said horror is dead.
Horror is dead.
No, horror's not dead, my friend. You're dead. You're dead inside. If you think horror's dead, you're dead inside. Horror's not dead at all. Horror's alive. Here I am.
The horror genre, I think, is in a lot of trouble at the moment, in the fact that it's been made pretty obvious to me that nobody's buying the books anymore.
I mean, Slighter, Garth's first novel, sold over 1 million copies. His last novel sold 173 copies. Mail order. And it was mail order only.
My books did not sell 173 copies last run. London Fiends sold 219 because some of those were mail order. 173 was after the returns came back.
Last run of Garth's books, he was able to give every reader a free jumbo mug, and that's demeaning. Salman Rushdie doesn't have to give everyone a free jumbo mug. I mean, the literature sells itself, by and large, although a mug wouldn't go amiss from Salman.
People aren't buying videos. The kind of films that are made a spoof. So it's really possibly had its day.
I love working with women. Well, hang on, let me rephrase that. I admire the women I work with. Let me rephrase that. I will work with women. Just because I fall out with every woman that I work with doesn't mean I don't love working with women. I love working with women. And if women work the way I love, then we'd get on like a house on fire. But the trouble is women have a different way of working to me. They do not like anything I like.
I've been criticised for only employing women at Devil Press, even for heavy lifting. Now, I work better surrounded by beautiful women.
Yeah, that's one thing you cannot bounce back from. You can be a boozer, okay? You can, even drink drive these days. If you're a sex pest, you're finished. There's nowhere else to go. You can't be an actor after that. You can't go back on the TV. You're a sex pest and you're through. Best thing to do is to piss off to Spain or something. That's what I'd do, I think.
You've had troubles at Dean's with underage girls.
Yes, I have, that's right. The main problem has been, I personally believe that really from 13 and up, turn the other way. It's not a popular view, I know.
Most older women put up with a lot of nonsense, I've found. Younger women these days certainly do not. And I can vouch for this. It's quite funny now I think back, but a few weeks ago I had a blazing row with my young girlfriend. I called her father a thief, which in actual fact he is. There was no argument there. She took huge offence to that. Didn't say anything that night. Anyway, next morning she poured scorching coffee on me. Okay, now most men would have gone through the roof at that. Got up, I put my trousers on, grabbed the car keys, and I went on holiday. Okay, and since then she's mellowed and it's been fine.
I personally believe that girls who lie about their age, and I'm talking about 14, 13-year-olds here, should be imprisoned. Or certainly sent to some kind of corrective institution. Because they're playing with fire. And if you play with fire, little girl, you're going to get burnt.
Garth, I know you once said one of the most beautiful things someone said to you was that they'd actually climaxed while reading one of your books.
That's right, yeah. It was...
Me? I said that to you, didn't I?
I write scenes about making love. Now, some people might think that's just titillation.
It's not screwing, it's making love.
It's
though.
making love.
And can I just say you've not made love until you've made love to Mr. Jean-Michel Jarre?
Well, that's true.
It's like making love underwater, but, with more control. In the sex scene, a phrase I do like is her dock, because that's got a nautical theme that I feel fits in with the saltiness of the entire endeavour.
Her dock, my ferry.
Yeah. Wet dock is too much.
Yeah, you see,
and I've
that's
seen
pushing
someone do that.
That's pushing it.
Stop at dock. I've read someone refer to it as a harbour, and I thought that was too ornate.
Well, that's, that sounds more vampiric, certainly.
Well, it just sounds like you're going to be moored there for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Move on, because I don't want to talk.
It's it can be sordid.
I'll make love all day. I won't talk about making love all day. Well, I'll make love for as long as I can these days.
Dean's
Which
always...
actually is quite a long time by the time I manage to get anything going.
All right. You've started him off.
It's a sad, sad day.
I don't want to hear about it anymore. I don't want to hear about it, please.
Let me tell you, it is a sad day.
I know it's a sad day.
It's a sad day for Dean. A sad day for Dean when I had to say, love, get a cab, it's not happening.
No woman has survived in any one of the last 3 books of yours.
Beg pardon?
Well, the women always buy it.
The women do not buy it, they die heroically.
Do you think that's going to be a problem when you're trying to
Look,
make the
all right,
concept?
we're talking about London Fiends, right? I presume you're talking about the story about the Wasp Priestess.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so the Wasp Priestess dies, but she was evil. Okay, so does that count as a woman? She's half wasp. So shall we say I'm knocking the wasps? Shall we say that? All right, I'm knocking the wasps as well then. I'm knocking the wasps and I'm knocking women. Okay? The female woman in that, the heroine, so the two women in that book for a start, half woman, half wasp